No, wait a minute, Doc. You mean to tell me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Sup, fams? Happy Back to the Future Day, even though it's not 2015 anymore. Hey, I still celebrate it because it's awesome. I'm a huge fan of Back to the Future. And speaking of Back to the Future, guys, here's my 35th anniversary review of the original Back to the Future. And the next two videos, I'll be reviewing part 2 and part 3. Coming up right now, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. All right, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Now, before I get on to the review, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. And make sure you guys hit that bell for notifications because really it'll help the channel a lot. And also, I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free and short and quick as I can. So, let's get on with it. Back to the Future was directed by Robert Zemeckis. Stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, Thomas F. Wilson, and Claudia Wells. So the story goes that Marty's a teenager who has a friend named Doc Brown. And Marty, he basically has a good life. He has a beautiful girlfriend, but unfortunately his dad, who's played by Crispin Glover, kind of doesn't know how to stand up for himself. And his mother, who's played by Leah Thompson, Lorraine, well, she has a drinking and smoking problem, but clearly she does love Marty's dad, but honestly, you can tell that they don't really have a great relationship together. Oh yeah, also, by the way, his dad's name is George McFly, I'm sorry. So, well, when Marty is just sleeping, Doc Brown calls him up to record a science experiment, which he builds a time machine out of a DeLorean, which I love. That is one of my favorite cars of all time. So the experiment goes well, but unfortunately Libyan terrorists show up and things don't go well. And well, in order for Marty to escape, he basically gets on the DeLorean, but unfortunately he does not check that he's going 88 miles per hour, which is triggers the 1.21 gigawatts to make time traveling make possible. So he goes back in time to the year 1955, and he really just wants to go back home, back in his present time. But unfortunately, although he does find Doc Brown, he does mess up the relationship with his parents. So the news conflict that he has right now is basically try to get his parents back together to fall in love, or else he and his siblings will cease to exist in the future. I don't really have anything bad to say about this movie, so let's just get on to what I really like. Man, the one thing, as much as I do enjoy the acting and everybody, Leah Thompson plays, and she plays with all the makeup and everything like that, she plays an amazing teenager and grown-up mom, singles with Crispin Glover. It's just great. Claudia Wells, even though she doesn't have a lot of screen time, you can tell she does play a big role and purpose in the movie because, well, she's mostly Marty's objective. Aside from getting his parents back together and going back home, he wants to get back with Jennifer. And yeah, because he loves her. They love each other, so yeah. And I just love how this movie juggles so much things, and I also love how this movie just juggles so many conflicts. You know, Marty trying to go back in time, tries to get back to his girlfriend, but also he wants to get his parents back together, doesn't screw up the future. That's a lot of stuff there. And also, speaking of a lot of stuff, there's a lot of Easter eggs when it comes to the 1950s. For example, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't invented, much like the skateboard, and also audio cassettes and headphones. And also, I just love the villain of this movie, Biff Tannen. In the future, he's just kind of of course, he's I believe he runs a car dealership, or he's kind of a mechanic or whatever, but he makes a lot of money and he's pretty much a dick. But pretty much Biff has always been a dick, and you could tell he has the hots for Marty's mom, even in present time in 1985. And when you go back in time to see a teenage Biff, well, he's more of a dick. But Thomas F. Wilson, but basically he's a lovable dick in a way. Even though he can be very scumbaggish, he's still funny as hell to see. It's funny to see him basically not get what he wants. And Thomas F. Wilson nails that performance, and it's so funny to watch him perform. But the main thing that I just love, aside from the awesome time traveling and conflict, one of the things that I love most about this film is the relationship between Marty and Doc. At first, you just see them as, oh, they're just friends, and well, he does hang out. Marty hangs out with Doc every so often. But in this movie, you see them develop to more aside from just close friends. It's kind of like another father and son kind of deal. This is great, and Marty, he really cares for Doc just as much as Doc cares for Marty. Even though that is the past Doc, he grows to really love Marty as his son or just as a best friend. Especially when during the climax, he does say, "I'm gonna miss you," and it's just sweet. Their chemistry together is just great. And also the score by Alan Silvestri is such an iconic thing. It creates It creates happiness, sadness, and also creates tension, especially during the climax. It's very tense with the music. But yeah, I mean, as much as I would love to delve in more in this movie, I'm actually gonna do more in-depth reviews someday, but still, I want to keep it quick and simple. But to quote Jeremy Jahns, they don't make him that they used to, because this movie has basically everything. It has a solid story, great acting, pretty much great characters, a great score, and conflict that basically does create tension. Even though it's a comedy, it does create tension. And well, you really want Marty to go. You really want Marty to have a happy ending. Even Doc too. You want Doc to have a happy ending. So of course, if I were to give this film a rating, I'll give it 5 out of 5 stars. It's a masterpiece. It has everything that you want in a movie, guys. So if you guys haven't seen Back to the Future, go ahead. I mean, I'm not gonna say, oh, you haven't seen it? Oh my goodness, what are you doing with your life? No, I'm gonna be like, well, see it, check it out. So yeah, that is my review for Back to the Future. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And also, as I like to say once again, happy Back to the Future Day. So this is Javi from Javi Productions signing off, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show.